Well, that's what I just said.
Oh!
Yeah.
As you think that's the way you travel, as you sow, so shall you reap. You can't live forever.
And the aging process goes on.
Aging, no doctor has a cure, but you can delay it, you can spread water, you can keep it down and live longer.
Yeah.
We can also look at the words we use. Thank you, Bruno. That's really helpful. And absolutely, there's so many things you can do to extend your life. And I also invite us to even question, do we have to die? Does this body have to end? I mean, here we are in a Christian church, and the reason we still talk about Jesus Christ is because he died and then resurrected. He was seen in his, what you want to call his light body or whatever it was. The reason the disciples went out and began moving through the fact that they could possibly be crucified or lose their life, they were so empowered by the vision of Christ returning from the dead that they were able to throw away their fear of death and go out and begin to teach. We don't know. There's so much that we don't know. The way we start to open to other possibilities is rather than saying the aging process, let it go. We're in the living process. As long as you're breathing, you're in the living process. And if that moment comes when your consciousness or whatever decides it's time to leave the body, that's going to happen. But how many of us believe that that's the end?
It's not the end.
No, the consciousness will continue. We believe that. Yes?
I do believe that what we eat, as Bruno said, nourish our bodies with healthy things, but how the mind can trick us is amazing to me. My daughter and a friend of hers in high school started to realize that they could have a Twix candy bar, and it was almost calorie-free. I mean, they read it wrong. They were actually having this candy bar every day and did not gain a thing. Finally, one of them looked on there, maybe my daughter, I don't know, and she said, oh my God, it's got this many calories. They kept eating. They started gaining weight. So they had to stop that candy bar. And she said she was never so surprised. And how did that work? I said, well, your mind, your attitude about that ruled. Belief.
Yeah.
Belief.
Well, and this obviously was not a scientific double-blind study.
No.
But
well, there were two girls.
But it's a clear indication. It's a clear indication of the truth. Our minds are incredibly powerful. They're connected with that divine intelligence.
Yeah.
So if that will work with the Twix candy bar, is it possible that it can work with our concepts around time?
Yes.
Is it possible it could work around our concepts of aging? I mean, we've got Bruno sitting here who's moving into his 90s, and you could hear just from what he shared that he is invested in the joy of life. You can see the things he brings that from the things he's grown in his garden.
She hit on a big thing, the power of attitude.
Yeah. We talked about equanimity and that place of balance. We've talked a lot about the presence process, which is coming up. So I'd like to end with some quotes from the book, just to give you an idea of where we're moving with this very powerful process. By going through the presence process, we realize there is nothing we may do that can make us either more or less than what we already are. As beings, and that's in quote, we are already perfect and unchangeable. Maybe our experience is out of balance, but we know how to integrate this. So it's what we've been talking, how we find that place of balance, of equanimity within these polarities. That we are perfect as we already are is the realization we are encouraged to reach out and grasp. We recognize that our authentic purpose isn't a job we are supposed to be doing. Rather, it is to be here now in this, where we are currently placed. So in other words, it's to be in life and enjoy it, and exercise, and eat the things we like, and do the things we enjoy, and connect with the people we have and get angry if we feel angry and really experience all of it. Through the vehicle of the presence process, we are invited to consider that there is no greater purpose than to show up and be available and useful through being fully present and paying attention. So that's what we're going to learn to do, to show up, be useful, be fully present, and pay attention. And what the process is really about is paying attention to you, to your unique self, to all these different energies that flow through us. By accomplishing this, we become sources. I'm going to use the word God because that's what we say in unity. His word is source. By accomplishing this, we become God's eyes, ears, hands, and feet. We walk, talk, live, and love for and as God. Our presence is God's presence. And then there's a really lovely poem that he wrote that really kind of explains how the presence process is really owning your own journey and leaving everybody else's to their own. It really is about respecting everyone else's path and journey. As we reawaken, let us gently leave the bed. Quietly tiptoe out of the darkened room and into the morning light. Let us play here. Let us not shake others in their beds. They are sleeping because they require rest. When they reawaken and hear us playing, they shall come and join us.
Aw.